Hello, I'm retired Battalion Chief Larry Cockman from the Greensboro, North Carolina Fire Department History Book Committee. We're here today at the Greensboro Historical Museum. I'm standing in front of the General Green, the first steam pumper, or as they called it back then, the steamer. Today, December 9th, 2019, we are starting a new tradition of recording and preserving the heritage and culture of our retirees. Our retirees have contributed so much to the success of our great fire department. Their stories retire with them and are sometimes gone forever when they pass away. They will share their emergency calls that will always be a part of their memories forever. So sit back and listen as they carry us through their journey in the Greensboro Fire Department.
My full name is Michael Jerome Hinson. My age is 67, soon to be 68. My years of service would be, full service would be 38, with 2 years of sick, made a total of 40. My rank is that when I left was Battalion Chief. I'm originally from Greensboro, been here all my life. Yes, I am related to a former firefighter. His name is Charles Thompson, who is now deceased. He was one of the first in the class of 61, the year of 61, I'm sorry. He played a vital role in me joining. I had never thought about being a firefighter. He approached me and asked me would I be interested. I told him yes, and I applied and got hired. Before I joined the fire department, I was an employee at Davidson Supply Company located on High Point Road at the time. Okay, the process when I was hired, from what I can remember, was just an interview with Chief Powell. And I don't remember doing other stuff, but that's the only thing I basically remember. Along the way, I didn't think that I was ever going to be a firefighter. When I was younger, I used to carry Charles Thompson, my cousin, his dinner every Sunday when I was about 8, 9 years old to Station 4. But I never really thought about being a firefighter. Yes, now I went through 2 training classes. The first training class I went through, it was approximately 9 or 10 guys. And I got injured the second, I got injured 2 weeks before the ending of the class, physically, which meant I couldn't make it through. The fire department was pretty good. They let me stay on a week before they decided they had to let me go because I couldn't do the physical part of it. I went through the second class. Chief Powell hired me back December 1, 1973. I went through with approximately 10 guys then also, 9 weeks of training. The first class was Pete Colbert, Bill Smith, Vernon Smith, I can't remember too many out of that, Harold Robbins, and Brooks Langley. The second class I had Ricky Willits, I had Paul Brooks, myself, Danny Miller, Ricky Willits, Rick Chavis, and Randy Parrish. The only thing I remember in training, it wasn't funny, but it was an incident that happened, was when a guy named Rice jumped from the second floor into the net and broke his arm. Yeah. Actually, in thinking that I was doing the right thing and feeling good about the job, actually came when I got through training and when I got on the line. Then I started seeing how much I was helping the community and picking up a profession that I could carry on for the rest of my life. My first apparatus assignment was at Station 4. I was assigned to Captain Gutledge. Captain Gutledge, from what I can remember, was my first captain. Was kind of stern at first, kind of laid back in another sense, but was gung-ho when it came to the fire. Okay. My nickname was Michael J, given to me by Don Barnett. The funny pranks that I remember back in the day, basically was when we were dealing with the rookies. Of course, you know, putting cold water on them in the shower, Ajax in the bed, you know, throwing water on them off the top of the building. Stuff like that. It was basically when it came to mess with the rookies. My crew always ate together, cooked together, and communicated well. The value in it was communication due to the fact that we learned each other. We discussed our problems. We also discussed fire calls that we went on, which was a big help. Yes, I was a good cook. I learned from the best, old school. My favorite dish to cook was the firehouse meal, which everybody loved. Okay, firehouse meal at that time was Spam, pintos, slaw, sometimes cabbage, and cornbread. When a retired firefighter visits the station, it's important that the younger firefighters or the present firefighters at the station give them a little conversation. They can learn a lot. Plus, it's a little matter of respect. He has probably earned his time, his years, and earned the right to come back to the station and have a conversation with the guys. So I think it's a matter of respect, just very respect. My first call, my first fire was all in one. My first fire was from Station 4. It was on Patton Avenue. It was more like a warehouse fire. It was a chicken place, and it was fully involved. That was my first fire and my first call. The value I saw in the fire department answering medical calls was due to the fact they could get there a little bit faster than EMS if it was within the area, within the district. The other thing is the life-saving was a big thing. They could save lives a little bit quicker. Bad medical calls that stand out in my mind would be one where we had 3 children, well, it wasn't a medical call, it was a fire and medical call where we had three children trapped on Warwick Avenue. The mother had gone out to deliver papers 5:30 in the morning. She left the coffee pot on, and she had the iron rails up on the doors and the windows. And she didn't have a turn lock on the front door. So what happened when we got there, the 3 kids was inside, without going into too much detail. When we got there, we found all 3 of them, and we used CPR on one, but it didn't work. The other 2 were dead. That's a medical call also. And the other one is down here on Huffman Street. The girl was riding in a pickup truck with a guy, and if you can picture this, one of the tractor trailers was sitting out in the street, and he went under the tractor trailer, and and her body was in the truck, but her head was in the back in the bed. You know, firefighters deal with death. Everyone has a certain way of doing it. I can only speak for myself. I try not to think about it too much. I try not to let it get in here too much. I go back to the station. The guys want to talk about it. We talk about it briefly, and we'll go on. But I think through the grace of God is the only reason that any firefighter, as many deaths as we've seen, can get through some of the stuff that we've seen. 9/11 affected me in a very, very sad way because it was my fellow firefighters that got injured. Being a firefighter, I realized what they were going through and some of the mishaps they probably were going through. So it was a very sad time for me. Well, I have numerous people that my mentors during the time I was coming up, which is probably a large number. I had guys like Raymond Cockman, I had Johnny Teeters, I had Don Barnett, I had Captain Farmer, Captain May, but my real mentor was Roy Mark. When I came out of my second class, I was assigned to Station 5, and Roy adopted me, took me under his wing, told me my left from my right, and told me right from wrong, and helped me along the way a lot. So he was my mentor. But other guys like Raymond and Johnny and Barnett and Farmer and Mabe and all those guys, they were people that I looked up to. Did I have any challenges along the way? Yes. My first challenge was getting through rookie school, training. That was my first challenge. My second challenge was getting in with all the guys and learning everything that there was about the fire department outside of training. And my next challenge would be getting in the promotion status of captain, battalion chief, fireman 2, all that kind of stuff. Okay, changes in GFD since my time up to now probably. Well, that would be, look, we had changes in uniform because we used to have to wear a tie and shirt every day coming to work. So now we just wear a blue shirt, blue uniform. That was one. Apparatus has changed. We were the open cab crew. Now they're the closed cab crew. the pumps on the truck, everything about that. The stations, you know, tremendous change from what we had. And, you know, and the personnel has changed a little bit too from what we used to have. Well, they seem to be a little bit more energetic, more into, and I'm gonna tell you something, they seem to be a little bit more energetic, but they also seem to be a little bit more mindful of the, what they eat, stuff like that. I would do it all over again if I was physically able. Would I do anything different? I would probably push myself a little bit more to accomplish my goals. Anytime I saw death, it was heartbreaking, especially if it was a kid. So basically that's about it. My proudest moment in GFD, had a couple of them. One was, like I said before, getting through training. That was my proudest moment. My other proudest moment was when my son joined the fire department. That was a big plus for me. I was glad to see him join. My other proudest moment was making battalion chief. The way I dealing with firefighters that died within our organization during my time. Raymond Cochran, for instance, a guy I really looked up to. Well, the thing that we all should understand and realize is that I always refer to the guys at the fire department as my second family. And I remember in Catholic school when I was in there, we had a small group. I remember the nun telling us that, you know, we didn't realize that at the time, but we were actually family, you know. And I relate that to the fire department. When the guys are there and I work with them a long time, I actually look at them as family. So when losing a fellow firefighter on duty, it kind of hits home with you a little bit. Female firefighters, it was really no adjustment, it was fine. You know, the first female I worked with was Edie Bailey. And you know, Edie is a comedian. And Debbie Butler was the second one I worked with. They had their own living quarters. I had no issues with that. We all gelled in together, we had a good time, we fought fire together, and it worked out well. The roles of firefighters today compared to the roles back in my day, you got the hazmat team, you got, of course we had the squad, you got high-rise team, which take care of that, and you also got the bike team, which is out 43. We got 3 special teams there. Other roles I think will come in doing community service. I think they're more involved in doing things in the community than we were at the time. What would I consider a successful firefighter? Mm-hmm. One that's gone through the training, one that has promoted himself, one that has done things in the community to make the fire department look better and itself. One who just has a deep desire to become a veteran in the fire department and complete the whole process, get through it, get it over, and retire. Family and faith played a big part in my life. My mother was my biggest supporter and the person that kept me straight. Faith is always believing in God. So that's what, if you're a firefighter, you get through some of the things we did. Yeah. Did I ever pray before I went in the fire? Yes, many times, many times. Some things that encouraged me to retire was, one, age. You know, years of service, 40 years, I felt like was enough. Another thing was I saw younger guys that needed an opportunity to get promoted in my position. So things like that, and plus too, I was ready to do other things. So that was my encouragement in leaving the fire department. My health has been great. Yeah. If I had the opportunity to talk to a rookie or talk to a rookie class, what I would do is tell them what actually got me through from being a rookie to a veteran firefighter to retirement. And I always lived on 3 things in getting through, and I call it the 3 F's. The first F is focus. Focus on where you're going, what you want to do, how you're going to get through it, and focus on doing the right thing. The next one would be faith. Of course, have faith in God, and have faith in yourself, and go at your challenges, and have faith that you can get through all your challenges. My last thing would be to finish. And the finish is when you get through rookie class, it's over, but not completely over, but that part of your life is over. But also, just remember that whatever you go through on your focus and your faith to get you to the finish line, that's all that counts. What I would like for the Greensboro Fire Department to remember about me is, 1, good leadership, good management, nice guy, of course. I met my challenges. That's about 4 things, and maybe on the other hand, that I was a good supervisor. I like for my family to remember about me is how much I love them and how much I care about them. What I would say to my family in case of my death, one, I would want them to know, first of all, how much I love them. I love them a lot, tremendously, and I hope I showed it during our time. I apologize to them for any mishaps that we might have had and things we might have gone through that may have came out in negative, but that's part of being a family. I would probably want to tell them that to go on with their life, enjoy it. You know, I had X number of years in my life and I had a great time, and they were an important part of it. And I want them to feel the same way I feel right now, that I can go on and feel good, and I want them to feel the same way when their time comes. I would just say that, you know, in the fire department I made some great friends, good guys. Larry Cochran, Harold Haney, you know, and a lot of other guys. I made good friends with them that I would not have known if it hadn't been for the fire service. So I look at that as being a fortunate incident for me. I also would like to say that the fire department gave me a profession that I love. It gave me encouragement, and it gave me more or less like not like a title in the community, but it earned me a lot of respect in the community, being a firefighter, which most firefighters get. So in talking about myself, I just want to say that, you know, my appreciation goes out to my many friends in the fire department, and my appreciation goes out to the community, and especially to my family for, you know, just what they've made me become today.
We hope you enjoyed watching these documentaries. It was our goal to share and preserve the memories of our retired Greensboro firefighters. It is our desire that these documentaries will inspire future generations to continue the brotherhood, sisterhood, and camaraderie while always striving for excellence in their careers. While fire apparatus, equipment, and technology have improved, several things will always remain the same. The courage and bravery it takes to mitigate natural and man-made disasters will always be a part of the job. Although our retirees are no longer a physical part of the GFD world, a giant piece of each retiree's memories have been shared with you today. These memories will be in their hearts and minds forever. A special thank you goes out to Captain Harold Haney for his many long hours of recording and editing. Thank you, Harold. A job well done.